Hello, everyone. You're watching Kaboom Studios. I'm your host, Hiro, and today we're going to look at something a little different today. We're going to go on a trip down memory lane with a popular Sonic horror game known as Sonic Dimensions, but it's now known as Sonic Redimensions. Yeah, good, because finding this game 2 years ago was really annoying since there was another non horror related Sonic game with the same name that we will not speak of now. But that's besides the point. Before we get into this, I want to explain how I want to do this. If you're clicking on this video, then you probably already know or at least heard of Sonic Dimensions before. It's a horror game made by iBoxBoy, also known as just Boxboy on YouTube. I won't go much into his past because it's simply not necessary, but I will tell you that he's a very talented creator. His recent work with Sonic Redimensions is looking very bright. And the reason I'm even making this video is because I thought he just deserves a little more recognition for his very impressive game. And also, I needed some way to get my channel off the ground, but this is still mostly about Box Boy. Don't get that wrong. So now let's get into how I want to do these videos. Yes, videos plural, because there are two versions of this game with them being almost completely different, but with the same end goal: get the Chaos Emeralds and escape. But since both of these games are so different and one is much longer and has more to talk about, so this video will be all about the original Sonic Dimensions, and the next will be about Sonic Redimensions. Sounds simple enough, right? So enough of yapping, let's get into this very disturbing and gore-filled adventure. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you, this game is full of gore and other disturbing images. And the flashing lights, don't forget the flashing lights. The game starts by actually telling us this is an Luigi Kid EXE challenge game, which, fun fact, when this game originally came out 2 years ago, I never knew it was an EXE challenge game, even though I already knew about the EXE challenge event. I don't know how I missed this on every video I saw, but I did. But let's move on. The gameplay starts with a cutscene of Sonic waking up in a random area unfamiliar to him. By the way, I forgot to mention, the game happens semi-in-universe, because while this is actually Sonic and his friends we are watching, none of his feats or strength are taken into account here. So if you think that, hey, this will never happen to Sonic, just remember not only is this classic Sonic, but also a non-canon version that is even weaker. Back to the video. He runs forward to see that there's not only a gate, but it's also locked. And I know I just did a side note, but I have to point out how bad the AI voices were in this game. Like, even back 2 years ago when I knew AI voices were bad, it still disgusted me whenever a character spoke in this game.
It's locked. I have to find a key.
Like, this isn't Box Boy's fault, but I can't stand these voices. Like, at least when other creators used these back in the day, they would have the characters say something funny to distract from how bad it sounded. But it doesn't matter, let's just move on. After searching the clearing you're in, you find a monitor with a key in it and open the gate. You leave to find another clearing and explore, but if you take a different path than intended, you can find something weird. What the freak? It sent me back to the beginning with all my rings, and the music stopped. It must have been a bug. Alright, let's just go back to the clearing again, and it's not there anymore. I think we should just move on. It's probably no big deal. But after using some of the worst grind rails I've ever seen before, we find Tails by the tornado and with more awful AI. Play the cutscene.
Hey, Sonic! I was looking for you.
How did you find me?
I put a tracker on your shoes.
Wait, really? Anyways, where are we?
I don't really know, but it's somewhere in Green Hill.
I have a bad feeling about this place. Let's get out of here.
This cutscene's always felt like a reminder that this is still in universe, and while most of the plot and over half the cast is completely made up, it still feels like we're dealing with the actual Sonic crew. It's pretty nice. But now we move on to, surprisingly, a boss fight against Eggman, which caught everyone who I watched play this off guard. It's not the most difficult thing in the world, but it can surprise you with the controls. All you have to do is just dodge his missiles and counter by pressing E on the keyboard 3 times. And also, there's a chance that Sonic will just miss Eggman when you hit E, even though Eggman's not moving. But that's besides the point. We finally defeat Eggman and he gets sent flying down into some random ditch. Sonic and Tails go follow him down a call him a ugly fat bastard that gets no bitches. But anyways, it's just a cutscene now, so just go on to the cutscene.
It's over, Egghead. Is it?
Sonic!
But now we get into the fun part of the horror, where I now introduce each threat when they become relevant, with me actually being forced to talk about one now. I wanted to save this for a little bit later, but since it's required to run into him to progress in the game, we're just going to start with him in a bit. So I'll just tell you how to progress in this part, then I will fully describe our Crimson threat here. It's simple, really. All you have to do is find a red little bum here, turn around quickly because it's really fast, and just run to these white doors and you'll be safe. What I recommend doing is finding the white doors first, then find a red boy to make it easier to have him chase you to the doors, and you can progress through the game. Uh, it's pretty tame for a horror game if you ask me, but I could be wrong. But now that you've done all that, you get sent to a cutscene, so just take a look.
Hey, what have you done?
Please hear me out. I did nothing, I swear. This is not your home. Before you spawned here, my devices detected a strong signal. And it appears that the signal are not exactly from around here.
What does that mean?
It means that you are hypothetically from another dimension. And if that was true, there is still hope for us to survive.
Survive what?
Back when the sky was still blue, I used to be the bad guy here, and I hated it. So I made a toxin that turns people like me even worse.
Let me guess, for the other me?
True, and it worked better than expected.
So what happened to Knuckles?
He's not alive. You killed him and forced me to bring him back different.
Huh? Can we save him? Or this place?
This place is beyond saving. We must leave as soon as possible, using the Chaos Emeralds. Do you have them?
No.
Damn it. Then go look for them in this area. When you find them, come back to me. Enough yapping. Be careful out there.
Alright, first of all, ignore what you saw on the screen there. That was with my phone bugging out. I don't got no fancy equipment to record this with, and also my computer is broken, so I can't get this footage myself. So yeah, just bear with me here, people. I'm still new to this. But anyways, this cutscene reveals a lot, like how Knuckles got like this and overall what just happened. But just a little summary real quick. The Eggman of this dimension got a new plan to become the good guy by making a serum that turns people evil. It goes wrong, as expected, and Sonic goes on a murder rampage after it gets him. Knuckles dies in this rampage, assumably trying to stop Sonic, but he, freaking dies, and Eggman brings it back as the Nameless. But now that our Sonic is here, hope has returned, and they now have hopes to escape, specifically mostly Eggman. But now we can actually talk about the Knuckles of this universe, otherwise known as the Nameless. But before that, let's do a little rundown of how I want to do this. What I will explicitly bring up when talking about the monsters is who they were originally and where they now reside, what are their motives, and how to deal with them. Pretty simple, right? But now let's move on and let's start with our first and most basic analysis, the Nameless. You already know his origin and his name, so I won't get into that again, but I will touch on a few more things, mainly his motivation and that he has none. While every monster from here to Sonic Redimensions has some sort of goal, the Nameless is just a husk that destroys any living being in its path, which is a little disappointing but fits the character perfectly. His residence is really anywhere, we just conveniently run into him. Here, nothing really dictates that he should only be in one spot, so anywhere works, and that's really it, so let's just move on. Now, how to deal with them. It's very simple on paper, but you still need to keep a few things in mind. But the game plan is to find him and have him chase you until he has to rest, then snag the rock out of his head and you're good. But do remember, Sonic in this game is barely faster than the Nameless, so keep that in mind. Also, there is a bug with him that there's a chance he'll be stuck tired right outside of Eggman's lab, completely safe for you to grab the emerald out of his head, so just keep that in mind as well. Also, I might as well bring this up now. I couldn't find the renders for the monsters, so I'll do my best to give you a clear shot of the bloody beasts whenever I get them. But now onto our next threat, because there is no in-between segment of each threat, the Sight Snatcher. The Sight Snatcher isn't much more interesting than the Nameless other than its behavior. Its main residence is the forest, where it's constantly moving around at high speeds. And you will never guess who this is. You could never guess who this could possibly be. If you guess Tails the Fox, my friend, you are sorely mistaken. It's actually Pig the Cat. Nah, I'm just playing with you. It's obviously Tails. It's not told how Tails got like this, but we can just assume he got a dose of the evil Eggman serum and he ends up like this. Also, in the guidebook, it states that Tails lost his tails somehow, but that's just confusing for two reasons. The first is, why would the serum get rid of Tails' tails? I thought the serum was supposed to add and make you evil, not take something away other than your goodness. So did his tails act like good boy channelers and his body channeling the good boy energy from the planet so that Tails is a good boy? I don't know, man. And two, his tails are obviously still there, they're just little nubs. So did his tails just shrink or something? I'm confused. But he actually does have a motivation. The motivation to eat. This is mostly speculation and theory because of one small detail I haven't mentioned yet. The dead animal bodies around the landscape. You can see them all around where the Nameless is. Dead-bodied creatures, but the Nameless is a husk. It doesn't need to eat, but the Sight Snatcher does. And the lack of corpses in the forest where it resides could be all the more evidence that it hunts not just for fun, but also out of necessity. But now the Chaos Emerald, and oh boy, well, the shiny rock you're looking for here is go. It isn't he. Yeah, I know it doesn't sound that crazy after the Nameless, but it genuinely shook me to my core when I first found this out. Because pair this with the fact that if you look at his face for even a second, you die. It seemed impossible, I'll be honest. But now on to how to deal with this menace. What you want to do is find a rock that you can pick up and toss it as a leg. It is nowhere as hard as it seems. Just keep your distance and don't stay around for too long and you're good. What I recommend doing is once you get the rock out of his leg, is to back out of his radius slowly while not looking at his face so that he runs away and you can safely grab the Emer dude and dip in your Gucci dude. Now on to our technically main villain of the story, the strongest of all the monsters, the Savage Smoke Demon Supreme. The Savage is almost nothing like the rest. While he does share some similarities in part of his motivation and wanting to kill you, I can't show you exactly what he looks like because there's nearly no clear image of this guy, but we will soon see him just fine. But his motivation is much different from all the others. While he is like the Sight Snatcher and needs to eat, he mostly does this for fun and sick pleasure. I believe this is not theory much, but more like implied due to his actions. Let me explain here. How you get his emerald is much different, but more simple in concept. You just have to find the key for this chest. Sounds easy at first, but it's really not. The Savage roams the entire cave, and there's nowhere to hide. If he sees you, you're done. There's no concrete way to deal with him other than just pray he don't see you. But is that not off-putting? The fact that he has a little game for you to find the key and get the shiny rock while trying to avoid death? Is that not strange at all? He is stated to be the strongest and fastest, not the smartest. So why does he seem to be the most sentient out of all the other monsters? None of the other monsters operate like he does, almost as if he can still fully operate as an intelligent being, despite being the evil serum flowing through his veins. His past actions match up with this too, him forcing Eggman to bring Knuckles back to life. He does possess intelligence, or enough to fuel his desire of doing evil stuff. I have more evidence that is very, very convincing, but I can't bring it up just yet because it's spoilers, but I will bring it up very soon. Now, how to deal with him? You really don't. There's not much I can tell you other than just find his area first and do it first because it's pretty luck based. There's even a chance that he'll just be at the entrance and he can instant kill you. Not to mention, there are no checkpoints apart from after you meet Eggman, so you get sent back to no emeralds collected and you have to start over, so save some time and start with Savage. But that is just about all I have to say for the monsters for now, so let's move on. Now that you've collected all the Emer dudes, head back to Eggman for a cutscene.
Have you found them? Excellent. Go ahead and put them with the others.
Eggman, can I trust you to come into my dimension?
I know I've made mistakes in the past, Sonic, but I promise I've changed. The guilt of what I've done to this world consumes me. I've tried everything I can think of to fix things, but nothing seems to work.
I hate to say this, but I have faith in you, Egghead.
Thank you, Sonic. Your words are very comforting to me.
Wait, hold on. Do you hear that?
I'm very angry!
Oh my goodness, y'all. This nigga breaks down the door. Dives up. He hops in the sky. Superman. Dives for the Emmer dudes. Sonic's still being about that life. He spin that shit and make an explosion that knocks him out. But like, oh my god. Like he just pulled up. No warning. No nothing. He immediately spun the block as soon as he heard that somebody done robbed him. Somebody done ran his pockets without him even knowing. Oh my goodness. So anyways, Sonic wakes up with all the Emmer dudes right around him. As right in front of him, the Savage is holding Eggman hostage, wanting the Emmer dudes, bro. We are now in the final sprint of the game with its most interesting feature. Choices. I don't know why I paused so long to say that.
I found you at the window again, looking out, watching the leaves falling in. Then it was something like a dream. Whoa, so perfect, couldn't talk to me. The time moves slow. When you're
All right, now that we're back, I just got a few things to say about this cutscene. Like, first of all, like, I just can't get over how ugly this guy, the Savage, looks. Like, bro, seriously, why you got 3 toes and 3 fingers, my guy? Like, honestly, if I had that face in Hunchback too, I'd probably act the same way you do. I'm starting to understand why you such a villain now. Like why you such an evil guy. Like, you're just so ugly. Like, bro, I can't relate. But remember when I said that I had more evidence for him liking to toy with his victims? This is one of them, but it's best that I explain this with one of the choices that give you an ending for the game. Spoilers ahead, so if you want to play the game for yourself, just click off now and go play it. But as you can see, you get 3 choices: surrender, flee, or fight. The one we're looking at first is surrender. Also, side note, each option has a description to it, and in it, Eggman is called Egghead. I just thought that was a little funny. But seriously, if you really think about this whole situation, Sonic and Eggman were knocked out from the explosion. The Savage was completely fine. So this means this guy really hated Sonic all the Emmer dudes and grabbed Eggman, then waited for Sonic to wake up for him to make a decision. This man was sick in the head, I'm telling you, bro. Like, it's probably because he was so chopped, but I digress. I mean, agree to disagree, but be real here. It was because he's so ugly. He's chopped. You're chopped. But I don't got that much more to say, so I'll just show you the cutscene of what happens. So just play the cutscene, I guess.
I'm very angry!
Wow, is anyone surprised here? He made a deal with the devil, and he died before. How shocking! Also, this isn't even in my script, but like, I just noticed this one frame here. Like, I got two things to say. First of all, he did not care about these emeralds. That just like adds into the theory. He's doing this for fun. He just likes to hurt people, bro. He doesn't care about power and stuff like that. He just cares about how many people he can hurt. Also, you can see how much more ugly he is. Like, seriously, like, come on, people, you got to see the vision here. He's shot. But that's just about all that is for this ending. So let's just move on to the next ending, fight. Let's see how this plays out.
You go first.
Nope.
Are you sure?
Oh my goodness, people! Eggman backdoors. I suck. Like, come on, man. I kind of trusted him, but still, that's dumb. And low key, making fun of him for how fat he is isn't enough. So let's take that fully ending and leave him behind and see what happens. All right, there's a few things to go over here in this cutscene, but low key, I don't feel like editing much more because I'm using CapCut and it's bugging out on me a lot. So you're gonna be seeing my character here for a bit. Just bear with this for a moment. All right, so first order of business. Rest in piss, Eggman. We will not miss you. Yes, me making this video and you watching this will not miss Eggman as he's getting freaking mauled in that other dimension right now. All right, let's just get that clear. And as you saw, there's obviously something wrong with Amy, so I don't need to tell you that. But instead, I have a little theory that could explain what exactly Amy was supposed to be in here until we got Sonic Redimensions. and she kind of just doesn't appear there. In which I don't think she got entirely scrapped. I think she's gonna appear when the game gets updated in the future, but I just don't know right now. She hasn't made a single appearance in any capacity at all. So we can just assume she's not here yet. But anyways, back to the theory. I have reason to believe that not only the Amy in the main dimension is fake, but also the Amy that was in the bad dimension pulled up to this dimension, the good one, killed this Amy and replaced her, acting as like some sort of a mimic and hiding amongst everybody for some sort of evil goal. And I'm just gonna tell you this now. I have absolutely no clue on what this goal could be. Maybe just this dimension sucks so badly and like no more Sonic. And she was like, I need me some man in my life. And she went over to the other dimension, killed that Amy, blended in, and thought, you know what, maybe I could bag Sonic in this universe or something. I really don't know. So let me just get to explaining. There is something I neglected to mention earlier when dealing with the Nameless. That is that after you deal with him, you can now jump on this spring and find a black ring. And what happens, you can just see for yourself. Now you might be thinking, Hero, that's just a random jump scare. What does this have to do with the monster Amy getting to the main dimension and killing our main Amy and replacing her, like a skinwalker or something? Well, first of all, we need a name for this monster. So I was thinking like the Decayed or something, because Amy Rose, flower, like plant matter dying. It's called like it's like decaying and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like yeah, the Decayed just sounds so cool. I'm not gonna lie. But actually, I personally think that this is just the game showing us how Amy, or well, the Decayed, got to our dimension. Let me explain. If you're a Kirby fan, you're going to love this theory. All right. I like to call this a non canon explanation. Essentially, what this is a way of explaining and building on something without it explicitly happening in the story. In Kirby games, we see this through side modes like DDD Tour and Meta Knight Tour to mainly show us that some characters exist but have just not made a canon appearance yet, or just showing that they're still around in some extent, or to some capacity, right? Crazy study there. Oh my gosh. These modes are all completely non-canon to the story and just serve as ways to explain things, or at least just for fun. And as a matter of fact, I think this actually happens twice in Sonic Dimensions. Once in the beginning of the game, where you see the crater with Amy's dead body in it, and two with the Black Ring, as I just explained it. So I already explained the Black Ring, so I'm just going to explain the crater real quick. What I think the crater is just showing what the Decayed ended up doing to Amy when she pulled up. So she just, ah! And then Amy was done for, and then eventually hit the body. Seeing as you don't see the body there anymore, so maybe it's just like a little cutscene or like a non-canon explanation. It didn't actually happen. Sonic didn't actually pull up over there and see the dead body of Amy, right? It's just showing us, oh, it was there, but Sonic didn't actually see it. If you understand what I'm saying. So here's what I got for the full story of the Decayed. Basically, the Amy in the bad universe gets infected by the evil Eggman serum somehow, and for some reason doesn't want to stay here anymore. And given the fact that she has like some kind of skinwalker ability or the ability to just look normal, she ends up finding a warp ring, hops in the warp ring, gets sent to the main dimension, kills the real Amy, ends up taking her place, and now resides there for whatever reason. That's kind of all I have to say about the Decayed right now. Once I move on to the Sonic Redimensions video, I'll most likely be able to talk about her more in depth. But we're gonna have to just wait until we get there. So yeah, no spoilers, I guess. But that's just about all I have to say for Sonic Dimensions now. This is a nearly 30-minute video. Oh my god, this is a 30-minute video. Oh my goodness. Whatever. Since I got nothing else to say really, how about we just end this off with me showing you all the jump scares because I forgot to put them in earlier. So enjoy.
Just go close to him. I'm just gonna expect it. If I go close to him, that doesn't do anything. Oh my god. They brutalized him. I'm sorry. How do I get...
It's locked. There must be a...
Ah! Whoa! Whoa, 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 what?